I've seen a lot of games, and I have a feeling this one is going to be special.
Another thriller on Thursday night. From Charlotte, the 7-2 Dolphins visit the 7-2 Panthers. Both are first in their division. Jonathan Stewart rips off the biggest play of the day, a 74-yard run to tie the game at 7 and give Carolina a 17-13 second-half lead. But then Greasy throws a pair of touchdown passes to tight ends. Larry Seipel and Marv Fleming put them up double digits late in the game. The offense has a chance to seal the win with under 2 to go, but Morris is stopped on a third down here. And then MVP Cam Newton of 2015 goes wild on this drive. First downs to Corey Brown and Jericho Cotchery. They've got a chance to win the game here, but Funchess drops the ball. They settle for the Nortman field goal to head us to overtime. Miami's first OT possession is nearly a disaster as Norman had a chance to all but win the game with an interception return, but he dropped it. Luckily for Miami, that defense was great in overtime. 3 sacks in the OT period gives Miami another chance, their third possession of overtime. Greasy, to try and avoid a tie, beats him with a deep ball to Twilly, and that sets up a game-winning shot from Garo Yepremian, and he would hit the field goal to cap off a brilliant day for the Dolphins in the overtime win. Greasy throws for 402 yards, and Miami is 8-2 this season. This had the making of a great game, but was a laugher early as Kansas City just got nothing going on both sides. After a stalwart touchdown, Mahomes is picked off by Mel Blount here, and then Hall of Famer Franco Harris began his hat trick, first on the ground and then an immaculate grab in the end zone. And the 78 Steelers, winners of 2 straight now, pick up a blowout over the Chiefs, 35-3. It's been a tough year for both of these teams and a rough half for both Manning and Dilfer. 7-3 Indy at the break. Into the second half, Dilfer make up for it with a huge play to Jamal Lewis. He gets right past Sanders, who we'd hear from again with a leaping catch, and Baltimore's in front 10-7. Manning comes back with this goal line score to Brandon Stokely. And then Dilfer has a shot in the fourth quarter for the lead, picked off by Bob Sanders here to begin the period. And then he'd get another shot after a Colts punt, and on 4th and 2 of the game on the line, picked off by Bob Sanders again, and Indianapolis has won their second straight, 14-10 in Baltimore. The 87 Browns and the 91 Lions are a combined 2-16 this year, but we're in a thriller in Detroit. Ernest Biner got the scoring started with this goal line touchdown for Cleveland, and the Browns led early 14-0, but the Sanders got it going for Detroit with a huge touchdown run here, 66. Then Chris Spielman finds the end zone, and then Pete gives Detroit the halftime lead with a score to Perriman. 24-21. Could this be the first win of the year for the Lions? Bernie Kosar had his best game of the season, finding Slaughter here. Tied at 24 late, he hands to Biner, who scores, and Cleveland takes a 31-24 lead. 4th and 12, this for the game. Pete overthrows everybody, and Detroit falls to 0-10. How in the world do the Lions give Barry Sanders the ball only 5 times? 5-4 Saints, 5-4 Buccaneers. Spoiler alert, Breeze at Brady means there's going to be a lot of points, and there might have been even more than anticipated in this game. Touchdown Pierre Thomas, touchdown O.J. Howard. We're tied at 7. Mike Bell gives the Saints the lead, but Brady comes back, finding Chris Godwin for 63 yards, 14-14. Tampa's in front on this goal line score to Ronald Jones, but it would not be remiss that Drew Brees would counter. Here's a 40-yard score to Lance Moore, tied at 21. Brady threw 4 touchdowns to the Bucs, but did throw 1 to the Saints. Pick 6 for Scott Fujita, but would bounce back just a few minutes later with the game of the life. NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Chris Godwin's in the end zone. New Orleans takes the lead here, but Mike Evans in double coverage makes a great catch. An even better throw from Brady. You couldn't have fit that one in any better. 35-35. Saints needing points to take the lead, instead go 3 and out. Brady was clutch throughout the course of his days in Tampa and guides a field goal drive with under a minute to go. 38-35 in an instant classic out of Tampa Bay. Saints needing points. Instead, Breeze throws to Devin White. An exhausting day for the two defenses. Tampa Bay secures a huge win out of the division, led by Tom Brady. Went wild in this one, and now Tampa Bay is only one game back of the division-leading Panthers in the NFC South. One of the great rivalries in professional sports at one of the greatest venues in professional sports, 39 degrees at kickoff in Lambeau between San Francisco and Green Bay. Antonio Freeman gives the Packers the halftime lead 10-7, up 17-10 late in the game. Montana, a back-breaking interception picked off by Newsome, who brings it back for a score. Packers up 24-10 late. Montana throws this jump ball to Rice in the end zone, and it's incomplete as ruled on the field. It would be challenged by George Seifert of San Francisco, and Rice, who appears to be out of bounds, they give him the touchdown, and San Francisco needed that break desperately. The defense stops him on a third down, giving Montana the ball right back, and he would be as clutch as ever. The same guy who won the game against Cincy in the Super Bowl on a touchdown drive does it again here. Flagler, for some reason, runs diagonally, but it doesn't matter as Spencer Tillman scores a play later. We're going to overtime in Green Bay, tied at 24. 49ers win the toss, 3rd and 13, a huge conversion here to John Taylor to begin the drive. Spencer Tillman to the outside, setting the stage for All-Pro Mike Kofor. Field goal for the win, and the kick is good. Niners are now 8-2, Packers fall to 5-5. The loser in this one falls to 5-5 and is a full game back of the final wild card spot in the NFC. 13-3 going into the fourth quarter for Minnesota. Then Pro Bowler Russell Wilson goes wild to begin the period with a pair of touchdown passes, one to Doug Baldwin and the other to Zach Miller. 17-13 Seattle, but Cunningham finds Chris Carter on his best day of the year. Minnesota's in front late, 20-17. Wilson playing hero balls picked off by McDonald, the rookie's first interception of the season, and Minnesota wins their second straight, 23-17 Vikings. The 91 Redskins came into the day 27th in offense, but may as well have been the best offense in the league with the way they played against a good defense in the 92 Cowboys. Your 1991 Washington Redskins are the new leaders in the NFC East. This one got ugly, 34-20 Washington. The 1998 Falcons and the 1986 Giants, led by two of the best running backs in their franchise's history, including Morris, already over 500 yards this year, have both played well in the DSFL 7. 14-7 here before Jamal Anderson's gone for a 74-yard touchdown. Falcons are up 2 scores late in the half, but Sims bounces back. He had a great game, finding Morris for the score. We're tied at 21 now in the fourth quarter. Chandler beats one of the best defenses in the league. That's 70 yards to Mathis, but Sims bounces back again. Deep ball to Manuel, and then fullback Maurice Carthen is in for another Giants touchdown. We're going to overtime, tied at 28. Harold Green of the Falcons suffer a 3-and-out to begin OT. Then on just the second play of overtime for the Giants, Sims burns the Falcons with a 51-yard game-winning touchdown. Another close loss for Atlanta, their 7th one-possession loss already this year. And now we've got all sorts of tricky stuff going on in the NFC East after a great day for Phil Simms. The Redskins, the Cowboys, and now the Giants are all equally 5-5, tied for first in the NFC East. The 99 Jaguars have been in a free fall, and it seems nothing can stop it. Even Mark Brunell, who has been great this year, minus the interceptions. Luckily for Jacksonville, he had none in this game today. He get the scoring started after a touchdown to Smith with this one to Stewart, 14-0 Jags. Then Griffith is in the end zone, and Jacksonville leads late in the half, 28-7. This game appeared to be over, but James Stewart commits a huge fumble at the 40 to keep Buffalo alive, and they take advantage. Thurman Thomas in for another touchdown, his 6th already this season. Then after a Kelly score to Cantwell Gardner, the Bills are right back in the football game. Jags have the ball with a 31-24 lead. They need a third down conversion to win it, but Stewart is stopped, and it was not by much. Inches away, giving the Bills a chance for a touchdown to tie it, and it begins in the return game. Al Edwards with a 17-yard run back and a face mask, so the Bills have a short field. Certainly Kelly could deliver right, hit as he throws, picked off by Hardy, and the game is over. Huge interception to seal it. The Jags stop a 5-game slide with a thrilling win, 31-24 Jacksonville. This is the first of two Kurt Warner Bowls in the regular season. The 99 Rams have the best record of the league, but not for long. Isaac Bruce reels in Warner's 20th touchdown of the season. Otherwise, this was a horrible performance for the St. Louis quarterback with a pair of interceptions. Cardinals lead the game 9-7 late, and then on fourth down, the defense of Arizona delivers another huge stop. Cardinals have won 2 straight, this one a shocking victory, and now San Francisco holds the tiebreaker for first place in the NFC West. 2 of the great quarterbacks in NFL history, and both play well in Oakland. 4-5 Bengals, 6-3 Raiders. 4 touchdown passes for Boomer Esiason, a long one to Eddie Brown, then a short one. Raiders did not bother covering Tim McGee. Cincy leads at 28-17. Stabler then bounces back with this score to Mark Van Egan. 2-pointers no good. 28-23. Bengals trying to run their way to the win column. The rookie from UNLV, Ickey Woods. And the best running game in the NFL in 1988. They punished the Raiders. 4 first downs on the game-winning Cincinnati drive. Bengals win it by 8. A huge victory for them, now at 5-5, 2 games back in the AFC North. 68 Jets and the 07 Patriots. Tom Brady got off to a typical fast start with a couple touchdown passes. One by way of maybe bending the rules a little bit, but New England's never done that before to my recollection, especially against the Jets. Hall of Famer Don Boehner goes for 199 yards against that defense. 80 there. They can interfere Randy Moss, but he scores anyways. Patriots are up by 13 late in the ball game. Namath bounces back, a 3rd and goal score to Pete Lamons. The defense does its job with a 3-and-out. Namath is given one more chance, 4th and 12, and he would deliver on a beauty to Bake Turner. Tom Brady's given the Player of the Game award, but it's Joe Namath finding the Jets in the end zone. This is the offensive tackle, Hall of Famer Winston Hill, for the lead. But it's been a question asked for 2 decades when he was with the Patriots. Did they give Tom Brady too much time? And the answer is yes. A couple of first downs here, and then the best field goal kicker in the league wins it for New England. He is 90% on kicks this season, almost automatic. Stephen Gostkowski, 30-28 Patriots. Miami, a game up with the Patriots still in the AFC East. They'll visit the high-powered Bills next week. 2 of the greatest running backs in NFL history meet from Denver, Colorado. 5-4 Chargers, 5-4 Broncos. LT hasn't run the ball very well this season, but for whatever it's worth, he has been a great receiving back this season. 31-yard catch and run for a Charger touchdown. Then one of the best runs of the season from TD, Terrell Davis. He cuts it all the way back. Unfortunately for him, he didn't score, but it still is one of the great highlight runs of the season for the Denver tailback. The Broncos were clicking on all cylinders offensively in this game. Elway to Green, and Denver hangs on for a 21-14 win against San Diego. It's been a tough season for Philadelphia, and now they visit Chicago on Sunday Night Football in the frigid cold. Eagles put together a great drive to begin the game, then Blunt loses the ball, and that would be a fitting beginning to this football game for the 85 Bears. Walter Payton running away with the rushing title, has 1,103 yards on the ground this year. And then McMahon, who's nearly sacked, throws a touchdown here to Galtz. Chicago's Jim McMahon, when he's throwing the ball like this, is almost unbeatable. What a play from McMahon. And then Payton does it again. This one from 45. Payton has 12 rushing touchdowns this season. The 85 Bears, after their crushing loss on Red Zone, have won 3 games in a row. Winner of this one ties Jacksonville for second in the AFC South at 4-6. And the Houston defense, part of a 4-game losing streak, they come up big on Monday night. An interception return from Brian Cushing. Then they pick off McNair for the 3rd time, this one to secure the win. That's Pro Bowler Jonathan Joseph. 11 Texans improved to 4-6 this season, and now tie Jacksonville 1 game back in the AFC South at 5-5. Colts at the Texans next week. We did not look at the AFC North. Pittsburgh has a 2-game lead over Cincinnati, and maybe even a tougher division, the AFC West, where with Denver's win over San Diego, they are in the first place spot, earning the tiebreaker over Oakland. Broncos play host to the Giants next week. Here's a look at the Week 11 schedule, the greatest team season, beginning with that doozy on Thursday night. And we have a trio of great games on Thanksgiving for a Thanksgiving special. Packers at the winless Lions, Raiders at Cowboys, and the Giants visit the Broncos.